Hi, I'm Joanie Marks, and welcome to another episode of Aha Moments with Joanie. These are unscripted and they're slices of life. And what we're going to talk about today is that I finished a bucket list trip to Africa in 2023. This was not on a whim. I was in Africa in 1974. That was the first trip I ever took out of this country. And the impetus to do this trip was also from a book that was written in 1984 by Mark and Delia Owens called The Cry of the Kalahari. And the Kalahari is this giant desert that is in Botswana. And they went there and spent 7 years in Deception Valley studying the lion pride and the brown hyenas. And they started with virtually nothing, built the space up and did the study. And when I went to the talk that they did in 1984 about their experiences and I met them, I said to myself, Joan, you must go to Botswana. So this is the result that I did go, and I want to share with you what I learned. And I'm going to do this over a couple of aha moments because there's so much that I learned and so much that I think will be valuable to you in your everyday life. So I want to start with a bigger picture, and then we'll go into more specific. So the bigger picture is that this trip, I started in Zambia, I went to Botswana, and then I went to Cape Town in South Africa. And when I left the hotel in Cape Town, until I walked into my front door, it was 36 hours of travel. And this was without delays. I mean, it all went, but it took 36 hours. So what I'm saying is what I got for all the time and effort, just the physical effort of getting on this trip was worth every second of it. And I want to start with a quote. This quote is by Ralph Waldo Emerson, and he was born in the 1800s, and he had a great philosophy that people should use their spiritual connection to nature, that their self-reliance and their ingenuity comes from within themselves, not from without. And this is one of his famous quotes: to be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishments. That pertains to us. But why am I talking about it on my trip to Africa? Is because these wildlife, these animals are trying to live their life. And they know how to live their life. They know how to raise their family. They know how to survive. So the question is, why is wildlife shrinking? It's because we are not allowing nature that they need in order to live their lives, that we are not giving them enough territory, enough habitat, which then contains all the things that they need to prosper. So the reason they're not surviving is because of our interaction. And what I'm suggesting is each of us, even in our own homes, in our own neighborhoods, be conscious of what the birds need in your area, what the butterflies need, what the wildlife that's around you needs in order to survive. Because otherwise, the only time you're going to see wildlife is going to be in zoos because they aren't going to exist in the wild anymore. So that is my genuine plea to all of us to be conscious of how we interact with our natural world and with the wildlife that we interact with. And in subsequent aha moments, I want to talk about what did I learn specifically from these animals. I didn't go all that way simply to take a picture of a lion or a Cape buffalo. You can't do that in a zoo. I went there to learn about their lives. And I had the great, unique privilege of going on a private safari for almost a month into Zambia, Botswana. And I spent time with particular families of animals. And so, a little bit like Emerson said, I got a chance to see how they do live their lives. And these are in reserves, so that for these special animals in these reserves, there is enough of what they need to survive. So, in the next aha moment, I'm going to talk about what did the lionesses of Botswana teach me. So until you and I meet again, look around your neighborhood, listen for the sounds of the birds and the different animals that you come in contact with, and realize how blessed we are to live in a world with natural creatures. And remember, until you meet me for the next episode, remember every morning to look into your mirror, smile at yourself, and say, I am my own best friend, for I came into this world to be myself. For that I came. Thank you, and all my best.